even if it's like not going to be the be all and end all, and it might not be the most efficient play, at the end of the day, it's about winning. And I feel like that's a winning strategy, even though it might not be glamorous.
Right. Nice lane setting up there as well. Like the disruption to the hoof stomp can be quite easy. I mean, it's the obvious one there for Adroit. RR now looking to make their second core pick. They've already got that offlane Beastmaster, but now knowing they're up against that Centaur Warrunner, they may just go for their POS 1. They won't be able to fall back to that Troll that we do see them going back to quite a bit. Have seen quite a bit of Jug as of late from RR, but kind of feels a bit lackluster every time we see it, in all honesty.
Hmm. Man, I'm just having a look at through a few of Adroit's stats because I think this is a perfectly fine draft. On this patch, they have not played Witch Doctor. They have not played Centaur. Wait, no. Scratch that. I think they have played Centaur. Okay, so they haven't played Luna. They haven't played Witch Doctor. They've played Centaur once and they lost, and they've played Shadow Demon 6 times and they only won twice.
Wow.
So it's something a little different that they're taking into this, and hopefully they're not underestimating Reality Rift because at the end of the day, it's not group stage anymore. These games matter. You lose this and you're out.
Absolutely. And you really don't want to underestimate this team because they do have these moments of brilliance where
Mm.
they just kind of look unstoppable in certain games. Droid, they'll ban out the Monkey King now. RR, of course, they did go for that Void Spirit, which I believe is going to be going mid for Alacrity. Which is, I don't really remember seeing him play the Void Spirit that much, but why not?
I think it's just a really strong hero, and if they're going with this strategy, right, of take a bunch of objectives away from them and get this early pressure up without losing any in return because we've banned out all of the other pushes in the game except the Lunar, I suppose. Uh, it's a strategy. They've got something in mind. They've clearly done their thinking coming into this, and I think there's always like a little bit of luck involved as well because I believe they won the coin toss, and the strategy was enabled by having that first pick.
Right. Wara, last pickup now. They did ban out the Conker, which would have been seemingly a pretty nice pick here for Adroit. They won't have that option available to them. And now for their final pickup, that safe lane carry for Drew. Okay, into the Faceless Void. That is against the Witch Doctor Shadow Demon in all fairness. That could be a bit of a rough, it could be a bit rough to find that Chrono, but overall, it seems okay. I mean, you've got the combo there with the Skywrath Jakiro as well, right? The Chrono into the ulti of the Skywrath. The macro pie is there from Jakiro.
Yeah, I think it's really just, of course, it sounds a little dumb just to say it and kind of, I don't even know the word I'm trying to use, but you need to use teamwork in this for Reality Rift. Like, you can't just go running in just because you see, ooh, 3 people grouped up together. I'm going to hit a Chronosphere because if a Shadow Demon isn't one of those 3, he can just eliminate the highest priority target or pre BKB, just get rid of the Faceless Void, and they don't really care about the fact that you've been caught out a few of them. So, I think every single team fight, and I'm sure Adroit knows this, Beastmaster comes in first. You get some damage from the Skywrath Mage to follow up, then perhaps back out a little bit. Then Void Spirit goes in second, tanks up the second wave of spells from Adroit and creates a lot of havoc. And then when they're running around trying to see, well, how are we going to be able to take this team fight and be in the right position to try and counter initiate, then you can go in with a Faceless Void because that's the situation where a Shadow Demon might be slightly out of position when he's trying to consider things that are not necessarily 100% ideal.
All right. Well, like you said, a lot of teamwork, a lot of steps to that, but it could all work out for RR. Of course, Adroit did finish their draft off with the Mac Death Prophet, which we kind of almost forgot about this hero again, but the DP was still available. Obviously, they were lacking a bit of push there for Adroit, so just throw this hero in now with the Exorcism. So,
Did you see what they went with the last ban on Reality Rift?
I did. I just have it. terrible memory, but it was the Kunkka. It was the
Oh,
Kunkka.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Just because, like, you could ban out 5 pushing heroes. You can't ban out all of them. And there's still a few that's slipped through. I mean, it feels like Adroit, they still want to go with their one wood, basically, the thing that's gotten them to this stage, the thing that's really successful for them, and that's aggressive pushing Dota. And they've somehow managed to, even despite all those heroes being taken out of the pool, accomplish that.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting match between these two. Of course, again, Adroit definitely looking to be the favorites here for this game number 1. Are looking to prove those odds wrong. Let's see if they can. Hopefully, at the least for us, we just hope for a close game between these two. That's all we want.
Absolutely. Nice art.
Yeah, indeed. Should be getting into the game very, very soon. How was your cookie, by the way, Danog? What flavor did you have?
It was like triple chocolate chip with macadamia nuts.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's loaded.
You can get some good bargains at Coles, that's for sure.
I was about to ask where it came from, but there you
Yeah.
go.
New flavor, actually. And they've also got ones that are just normal chocolate chip with like a milk chocolate coating on the underside. So I
Whoa.
made sure to buy 1 box of everything.
That second one seems pretty interesting.
Hmm.
I'll have to try it out myself. Alright, game number 1 finally upon us. I believe these should be pretty standard lanes here from Adroit. You see the Witch Doctor and the Luna head down bot. Of course, the Shadow Demon Centaur up top and the mid DP. Adroit aren't trying anything funny with their lanes, and looks like the same will be said for RR. They're just running the standard lanes, the Void with the Jakiro. No, Nuts is going down bot for now. He'll probably TP back up later.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. No. You would think so because he's purchased up the magic stick, so he obviously wants to have that to contest into Boomy.
Oh, Hustler gonna scan out CML. Natsumi gonna throw a bit of an auto attack in. They understand there should be more than just one hero around this area. That's why Hustler's standing there so confidently.
He's got that movement speed to be able to make this contest, and oh, have they caught out Natsumi here?
Concussive shot is there, but the dual breath doesn't even connect.
I hate that
I know
taunt
that
so
taunt.
much.
It's annoying as hell. I just don't get why it's rated so highly, that taunt. Like the Ember
When you
taunt.
say rated, you mean
I mean how expensive it
gated.
is to get there.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's a bit of a meme, you know.
Okay.
We love our memes here.
We do. 2 for 2 bounty rune trade. Nothing too surprising. They are going to bring that Jakiro up top. Nuts, he'll just make the run up while he still has his creep wave behind his tier 1 tower. Still, there's a lot of kill potential even with Nuts around. Like, you get this disruption into a hoofstomp from Ben Soy and then the retaliates popped off. Could be a very, very easy kill setup there for Adroit.
It's a lot of damage, that's for sure. I want to see how this Jakiro ends up skilling up too. You know, is he going to prioritize a lot of points into the control through the dual breath, or is he going to perhaps start maxing out that ice path just so that there's a lot of different disables that Boomy needs to consider rather than just the one big one from the Chronosphere or the Roar coming through.
Well, speaking of Boomy, he got 4 stacks of Shadow Poison off already, but does lose his Kuruk, and does also pull the creep wave away. So, you have to drag that over. Nuts look to be fine through all that damage, and now a great little Dual Breath there as well. Just aggroing that large camp, denying this creep wave away from Adroit. Nuts will stick around to contest as well. I do like that little play.
He's got the magic stick, he's able to. It's only a level 1 Shadow Poison, so it's not going to be the death here.
We'll chase down, Boomy will chase down Nuts, but this is giving so much free space over to Drew. We'll have a look at the other lanes while we have a chance as well. Alacrity going to be up there up against Mac. This is, I would dare say it's supposed to be favored for the DP up until you hit that level 6 mark on the Void Spirit, but can go either way, right? Like, Alacrity can still just abuse that Aether Remnant and the Resonant Pulse and just kind of back off whenever that Siphon comes out.
Yeah, I think nicely done there by Mac. I think with the Aether Remnant, it's really the use of it is just to be securing the range creeps right now, and good play by Mac to body block it, making sure that it was the creeps that picked it up. And he's looking to snowball that early game.
The spot lane as well, Hustler and KYXY there with CML and Natsumi. Natsumi is not having too bad of a time so far on that Luna. But CML's the one who's having to take the brunt of all this harassment out from Hustler.
Yep. He's gone the early point into the Voodoo Restoration, so he wants to be able to trade quite easily here, and also has the Magic Stick available now too.
Coconut thrown out. Will hit the boar, of course. They do get the golden XP, and well, let's move away from this bot lane because that damn taunt's around. Go back to the mid lane, where Alacrity is starting to fall quite low on that Void Spirit. This is that point, right, where it is a bit more dangerous as that Void Spirit up against the DP, because you've got the level 2 Siphon and Crypt Swarm. In fact, he goes right now. Alacrity, Aether Remnant is going to latch on. Mac was unwilling to let go of some CS. Just wanting to ensure he keeps CSing while chasing, and well, he will at least force out the salve usage from Alacrity.
I mean, it's a slowish paced game, and that's exactly what Reality Rift are wanting. You know, they like having a bit of time to consider their options, and the thing that I'm going to be looking out for this game, more so than anything, is Alacrity's performance, because it has to be said, he would have been perhaps a bit disappointed with how he played in some of the series a bit earlier in the week.
Oh, absolutely. That's for sure. Top lane, they've left Bensoy by himself now. Do you see the rotation out from Boomy on that Shadow Demon? It looks like he might just spend a bit of time trying to get some stacks off and secure that power rune. Top lane, is it going to be there? No. It will be Invis down bot. Hustler is going to be around to secure that, but Alacrity is being chased right now by Mac. But you get to bottle up that illusion. Mac will not be able to deny it away from the Void Spirit, and it's going to give Alacrity a way back into this game. Or this lane, anyway.
Yeah, I think it's fine, right? Like, Bensoy, he's getting an okay amount out of this lane, but relative to the Void, you just need to make sure that you're not falling too far behind, because you don't have too much potential to flash farm yourself.
Bensoy, top lane, getting pretty low on that Centaur, but the Jewel Breath from Nuts didn't really land. Boomy now does have Disruption. I think
he's got the Ring of Tarask though, so he'll be fine.
A lot of Retaliate stacks available on Bensoy. You'd want to kind of make a play right now if you can, but Boomy, he's just trying to find the proper time to go. I think he's going to try and go on that Jakiro rather than the Void, because the Void may be a little bit harder. The bot lane CML is the first blood. KYXY will secure the kill on that Beastmaster, and now Natsumi is just going to try and run away. He'll be fine in doing so.
Yeah, Courier going down means that lacking perhaps a little bit of stats there on Natsumi, and not able to get away just in time. I thought bot lane was actually going relatively well for Adroit, given the fact that they were able to take out a few of the boars, which KYXY really shouldn't be letting happen. But yeah, first kill gone Reality Rift's way, that's a big win.
Definitely is. Now Drew, top lane getting disrupted up. Bensoy does have the hoof stomp and does connect, though they won't really have the damage output. And now Bensoy, he's going to get jumped on. Does die there. Drew picks up the kill, and well, I don't believe they're going to find Boomy, but that doesn't really matter. It's a great kill up there for the side of RR.
Yeah, nicely done. Being able to turn around. You're not always expecting the aggressive time walk forward, but using it to full effectiveness there. Oh man, Bensoy, he's lost his career again.
Oh, that's a real shame. Oh, Ben, just going to TP back up. Can't really underestimate the Liquid Fire and Jewel Breath of Nuts. It slowed down his attack that last time around, so he didn't really want to use the Retaliate to fight anymore, even after popping it. He just wanted to back out. That attack speed slow. Really
They've got a few of these coconuts onto KYXY. Maledict connects as well.
Well, he's being chased down. Natsumi will run the wrong way. CML will find him though, and the Lucent Beam does also connect. Still chasing him down. KYXY, do you die? It looks like you almost certainly do. And Mac, as well as that, finds Alacrity in the mid lane, though Hustler may be able to at least trade. No, they won't.
Not quite. He just needs to wait this out, make sure that he, well, no, he's just going to TP back to base. I was going to say he's going to have those spirits returning to him shortly, but without the mana, there's not much point. You'll wait until he gets his boots and then head back out to the lane.
Still a good way to get back into this game for Adroit. They were kind of not falling behind per se, but they were giving a few kills away. Needed some of their own. Bensoy now going on to nuts on that Jakiro, but just really trying to contest that small camp and the creep wave. But Ice Path blocks Bensoy's way. He'll wait it out. Pops to retaliate. Double edge as well. Nuts may have overextended, but he comes through with the bashes. It'll be a 1-for-1. I think the Jakiro won't mind dying, and now CML going down to Alacrity, but he's a bit deep. He will Astral Step, but no, Boomy's there waiting, and the Melodic was there anyway.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, I wouldn't want him to get away like that after tanking up a few of those tower hits, making the Melodics do so much more, but they end up securing it as well.
Perhaps Alacrity got to calm down there on that Void Spirit. It's not really worth giving your life away for CML though. Bot lane Natsumi gonna get caught out now from KYXY, who does commit the first roar of the game onto the Luna, and it successfully works out for him. He had the double boars going. Yeah, plenty of damage as well, while CML wasn't around.
Yeah, he dominated that Radiant range creep, so he had that extra little bit that was required.
Top lane Boomy will also end up dying to Nuts now on that Jakiro. Nuts trying to get the courier there of Bensoy. We'll have to leave it, though he's still looking around for it. He really wants that courier. He's just going to wait in the tree line for it, but Bensoy knows, or does he? He does. Nuts won't get it. Oh. Spots it out again. He really wants it. And he will get it. And the Ring of Health was there as well. Oh no. Bensoy tried to use the courier to be clever. And works against him. Now bot lane. Natsumi's going to get dived. CML pops the Voodoo Restoration. Natsumi does have the Eclipse to turn, and his team is TPing in, but Mac eventually will just cancel the TP off. Looks like they'll just be satisfied with continuing the farm game though. Oh, KYXY gave a free Helm of the Dominator creep away to Natsumi. That's 200 gold.
Mm-hmm. Nicely done.
Alacrity, mid lane, being chased down. No Astral Step for another 4 seconds. Does try for the deny, doesn't get that. Now the silence is out. Does he have enough? Alacrity's so barely going to get away with 15 HP. But he will lose that tier 1 mid. Meanwhile, bot lane, Chrono committed, not finding anything now. Natsumi going to get the Eclipse off, but the Roar is there to make sure they do get the kill on the Luna. Ara will try to move their way down to the bot lane and perhaps find the tier 1 tower. They'll have to be a little bit careful of Mac. In fact, Mac is maybe not even interested in fighting. He just wants those bounties and a regen rune.
They used the Chronosphere despite the fact that the Shadow Demon was nearby, but just having the confidence of having this Beastmaster as well as the Skyreth nearby, meaning that, well, you could save him for 2 seconds, but we've still got the damage to be able to turn things around.
Definitely an important kill on Natsumi, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, and the Eclipse as well being expended, so despite the fact that he's gone into this Lucent B, pretty standard to be honest, but now you're not quite as risk, and nice play by Nuts here as well, forcing them to back off. Just only committing the macro pyre means the rest of the team can continue playing around this more dangerous side of the map.
And they've still got that siege creep though. And it looks like Bensoy is kind of willing to tank. Now Natsumi will take the tower hits, but eventually it's going to kind of turn onto that siege creep. No, wait a minute, there's a creep wave coming. They save it. And T1 going to go. Drew is still forcing in the bottom tier 2, so he's getting a bit of value here. The
Nuts is going to go down.
Yes, he is. Trapped up. Silenced up. And is dead to Mac. On the brighter side, though, him delaying things like that also allowed that mid tier 1 to die.
Yeah, that's the great thing about the Jakiro, right? All you need to do is pop down your macro pyre. Honestly, he probably didn't need to stay there for as long as he did, but he just wanted to, like you said, delay things for as long as possible. Oh, Death Ward?
Yeah, he'll just commit the Roar. CML. No point even trying. Just trying to really abuse the creeps of KYXY and keep getting that Helm of the Dominator creep, but he's got to watch out for the real Beastmaster. And, well, RR, they still look pretty darn good in this game.
They do, and a slight misplay from Adroit as well coming through there. I believe they wanted to use the glyph on the mid-tier 1 tower, and they did, but they used it after it went down.
Oh.
So they actually don't have a glyph remaining, so if they keep this pressure up on the bot side, they're not going to be able to defend all that easily.
You've got Chrono up in 10 seconds as well, so you can definitely keep going.
You got the net.
Yeah, he does get it. Ice Path
Slow.
is well from Nuts with the Jewel Breath. Now the macro, Ben Soy. He'll have to stampede through all that. Mac also going to show up with his own. Doesn't really want to... Yeah.
Maybe a little hesitant now to go back in. I think if you hadn't popped the macro pyre there on Nuts, they would have just gone for the straight chrono.
Double damage though, pop from Alacrity. He's thinking about jumping in. They did scout it out, but CML, he's got a bounty now.
I'm liking this from Drew. He's posturing himself, saying, yeah, come on, come and hit me. I've got my team backing me up, and you know it, because they just got rid of that Observer Ward.
I do love this from RR. Drew getting the bash on Ben Soy. The Coconut being a little bit annoying, but he still holds that Chrono. Now Mac pops Exorcism, trying to go after Alacrity. CMO with the Death Ward, killing off Alacrity now. Chrono still not out. Drew, he does finally get Ben Soy. The Ice Path is just to zone them out and let the side of RR run.
Didn't even need to fully commit with the Natsumi TP there either. He had Eclipse ready to pop onto them if they wanted to turn around, but...
They're still going.
Position 2. Oh, they've got the Chrono if he can come in from the bottom side.
He might just now. Mac, he's running out of Exorcism. Yeah, there's the Chrono. Binding 2 with the Mystic Flare as well, and Mac, maybe not realizing he was still around there on the Void. They'll lose Boomy as well.
And they should know that Luna's not capable of coming down here. You know, pretty fast, natural movement speed sitting at around 400, but they can easily start to pressure this this tier 2 tower now.
That they will. This RR side, I mean, this is the way to play it. They are doing so good in this game number 1 thus far, and well, Adroit with that Exorcism as well, just kind of, I guess, tossing it away. Prior to that level 12 mark as well, so you didn't really get much value out of it. Boomy, Jewel Breath doesn't connect.
You've got this Diffusal Blade here on Drew, so you can see they're keen to try and make something happen here. Again, going for kills as the priority as opposed to, you know, teamfight potential. Drew, he's going to be able to just get away, and that's 2 ultimates used just to try and run.
Purge is going to be there though. Drew, banished up
Silence.
as well. Mac, no silence. He didn't
Still
have
on
it.
cooldown.
It
They got the Roar.
KYXY may just turn this if he feels he can. He might have to, but no, the paralyzing cask. It won't let him get it off. Now Drew, he's in the middle of this team fight.
Alacrity's
the silence
coming,
is there. Alacrity is coming in. They do get Boomy. Mac probably will die as well on the DP. RR looking great. They can keep going. Alacrity, he has another Astral Step, and he does get CML. A 3-for-1 trade. And Natsumi needs to keep running. Hustler's around the corner there with that Mystic Flare. He goes for it. He has a Rod of Atos up. And Alacrity now, with the follow-up from Drew, gets a bash, gets a second, a third bash, and does get the kill on the Luna.
Nicely done. Nuts just here on the bottom side, taking some pressure from the tower. Wants to make sure this creep wave is able to survive, and he's going to pump the liquid fire into it as well.
So now,
yeah,
if
maybe a blessing in disguise as well with KOXY not getting off that Primal Roar. They've still got it available if they want to keep the pressure up on the map here.
what do you think Adroit need to do now? Like, they've fallen behind by 2k. Natsumi's nowhere near that point where he can actually be effective on the Luna. I mean, Max dropped off as well on that DP. He's just not really getting too much done anymore.
I suppose, but their draft is still okay on Adroit because, like we were saying before, this Drew Faceless Void is going into the kill style of build. And if you can somehow just continue to kite them around, avoid these kills happening throughout the map, well, that's not a way of avoiding it. Boomy drops down again. The effectiveness is suddenly nullified, you know? They've lost an additional tower, so that's a bunch of extra gold that's already in Reality Rift's pockets. If they're able to even that out on Adroit's side, then it's not going to be as dire as it might be looking right now.
Okay. We'll see if they can get that done. The bot lane does eventually go down. KOXY, he's stuck with it and got the job done. However, Adroit thinking about running up towards that top lane. Alacrity is going to be there on the Void Spirit with Hustler.
Maybe trying to bait in a early aggression here on Natsumi.
Well, they do go in. Bensoi with the hoof stomp, had the blink dagger up. Now the eclipse as well. Alacrity though, still Astra stepping away. Maledict should do the job, and probably will in the next hit. No, not quite yet.
Last one.
Oh. He tried for the TP. That was a bit, that was questionable, but Hustler is just going to pretend to be a tree and he will survive.
Well, that's one way to start to come back into the game. That gives Luna her Manta style as well. And she's got level 12. Oh, nice use of the Ancient Seal there.
It was, but the problem is they had backup. Death Ward is out from CML. He secures another kill. Bensoi taking the killing spree of Hustler. And, well, I guess it's still buying even more time for Drew on the Void, who is jumping now on Mac. You do have the Chrono. Ice Path committed. Now Diffusal as well. Mac will pop the silence. Try for the TP. Bash. Bash. It does finally come out in the end with the macro. Mac will die.
Macro Pyre.
Nice.
Sorry, that was terrible.
And they're going to go for that, that mid-tier 2 tower now. With KYXY around, they've got plenty of push potential. They've got the Roar, they've got the Chrono. Not really much stopping them.
No glyph for 3 minutes.
It's a real problem here for Adroit. RR will continue this massacre. 5k net worth lead now as well. Bensoi's courier dying for what must be the second or third time now. Poor guy just can't catch a break.
Nope, not at all. Man, look at all these aggressive wards that are coming out right now from Reality Rift, just wanting to choke Adroit into their side of the map. Essentially, the Tri-Camp's the only safe place that they can be.
It's nice warding indeed.
Top lane. Dead.
Yikes, Boomy dying again on that Shadow Demon, and now RR easily going to take that top tier 1 tower.
I reckon Roche is the play now. You've got control. You want to fight around this area. They've got nowhere they can TP into. And you've also got the Hawk Vision that gives you that extra level of security.
They're going to try for it. And it is going to be fairly easy with KYXY around. As it stands, Adroit, I guess you just take this time now, try to secure some farm while you have a chance to. They are rushing towards that Roshan pit though. Alacrity going to spot them out. Does dissimulate away. Roshan actually going to be left alone as well.
For now, lacking a little bit of mana on KYXY, it has to be said. They pop the smoke, but I don't know how I feel about this. I think you need to pop that clarity that's sitting in the Void Spirit's backpack onto the Beastmaster.
Oh, they gave him a couple mangoes. Hustler had some on him. And
good positioning by Adroit, but will it be good enough?
Concussive, Mac does get a silence off quickly, but those units are just melting him. He will use himself up. Bensoi trying to get rid of KYXY, but now they're on a Atos, holding down Mac. They will take him out, and now it's like, do you want to go Roshan? Do you want to go high ground? It is going to be Roshan.
Take your pick. Little bit of Yule's misuse coming there from the DP. Used it while having the Stampede buff, so little unfortunate.
That it is. What's more unfortunate though is this Roshan going down for RR. It's going to mean an Aegis now for Drew. He already seems kind of unkillable on this Void. He's already 7-0 with 5 assists, but with that Aegis now, that tier 2 top tower, not going to be feeling too safe. And after that, I think they might still have time to try for a high ground push with that Aegis.
Yeah, potentially. The one downside of taking out a tier 1 tower means that that glyph is refreshed. I suppose you can confidently take this tier 2 outer tower because they're not going to want to use it. Their glyph, in that case right now, their last bastion of safety is on their high ground. And, well, that's going to help a little bit with this Lucent Beam cooldown being achieved with Natsumi with the level 15 talent.
Nice. Nice little 2.5 second cooldown once again for that Luna. I believe he's also got his BKB coming out very, very soon. He just needs the Ogre Club. But Drew just going to continue working onto that tier 2 top tower. Got the Alpha Wolf there from KYXY to help out with that damage. Looks like they'll go for a little reset and maybe come back later on.
I'm liking what Bensoi is doing, you know, by all of these aggressive wards, it means that obviously you can't farm in your own jungle, so you need to try and find a way onto the other side of the map, both to take attention away, as well as keep waves pushed in, or just even get farm for yourself, and he's doing a decent job at that.
That he is. It did allow him to get that pipe up. Now he's looking to try and maybe just build into those phase boots. Just had brown boots for such a long time. It's the tomb as well in the Centaur. Trying to keep up with KYXY on that Beastmaster.
Smoke's come through here. Natsumi's going to act as the bait for now. He's got the BKB potentially coming out to it.
Not yet. He's about 250 gold off. It looks like RR, they're not going to fall for it. They'll just sit back, relax, no need to rush.
Oh, that trusty shovel bounty room will help. Getting closer to the BKB.
Absolutely.
I think there's a second smoke being popped.
They still don't have the BKB though. He's 100 gold off.
Yeah.
Trying to get out to farm maybe. Gonna use it to just literally get to that creep wave or the neutral keep camp, and yeah, he just buys out the BKB straight away.
He needs the last point in the Lucent Beam as well, though. I mean, that could be a potential team fight changer. I know it's only 75 damage, but you put that over the duration of the Eclipse, and it's a decent amount.
It is. Where does he get the levels?
Can't be caught out here, though. Imagine if he gets picked off here with no buyback.
Drew gets a Diffusal Blade, Manta off. He has the Chrono. Doesn't want to commit. Not just on a Luna. Bensoy was around the corner just in case. Doesn't pop the Stampede yet. There'll be a secondary BKB now onto Mac. Drew, it looks like he's just not going to be ready for it yet. You do have Alacrity with a double damage right now, just sitting on top of that high ground. But, no, they're going to back off.
Well, they picked the right time to come in and start making a real impact here, Reality Rift. What a great way to start their day. It's not over yet, but a 95% win probability, so says Dota Plus.
That is pretty darn high. Doesn't get much higher than that. It's, I don't know, like, you've still got Adroit who could come back in this game, number one. It's just they're just lacking so much right now in the way of items, and they're 10k net worth behind. Still RR, maybe playing a bit too conservatively here. I guess you still control the map, but we just haven't seen any kind of chrono usage. We haven't really seen any pickoffs as of late. It is buying time for Adroit.
It is. You know, now you've got that level 16 on the Luna. You've only got 45 seconds left on this Aegis. And you're still just a little bit short of these next items for yourself.
Mid lane. Ben gets caught by the Aether Remnant. He is getting bursted quite fast. We'll use the Stampede, but now Rod of Atos will lock him in with the Ice Path. They silence up from Mac. It's not going to help Ben Soy. They tried to get the disruption off on Drew, but unfortunately, just didn't do enough for Ben. He does go down.
They hold, though, on Adroit. They're not going to have that Aegis for the next push.
And that's the thing, right? Like, if you are RR, do you even bother trying for that high ground attempt without that Aegis? You probably just don't. You probably just back off and keep farming.
Yeah, only 200 gold away from that BKB as well, so even though you don't have the Aegis, that's still big timing coming through for Reality Rift. It's looking a little scary for Adroit, it has to be said. That's the downside of picking these... I don't want to say they were disrespecting their opponents, but if you haven't played 2 out of your 5 heroes on an entire patch, you're not going to have the same level of understanding as your bread and butter.
Very true.
Mac.
He'll get the creep. Nice little 200 gold out there from KYXY. Does have Blink Roar though, but may assume this is just bait from Mac. Now Natsumi shows his face. KYXY, he's thinking about this. Boomy's right behind him with the disruption, so he won't bother. Now Ping's coming out onto Drew.
They have to be a little careful here on Alacrity. They go on Mac.
Yeah, they have roared up. He is going to be He's going to be okay for now, but the Chrono
Big
comes
Chrono.
in. CML right outside of it, but there's a BKB on Drew. Boomy does die. Now the Eclipse is flying through, not really doing too much. Ben Soy going down very, very quick to Drew on that Void. Now the Astral Steps from Alacrity, just really dishing out that magic damage with the Mystic Flare even from Hustler. Isn't enough though. Ben Soy gets the stomp off on Alacrity. They do kill off the Void Spirit. Now Drew, he may have overextended. He does end up dying. It takes a bit of time and some kiting and a buyback, but eventually Adroit do get some decent trades.
Oh, it's just the little things in these team fights that make such a big difference. Nuts off by about a millimeter with his ice path, which meant that the CML Witch Doctor able to essentially get a full channel of that Death Ward through, doing a ton of damage to his cores, which could have easily been avoided.
It's a problem, but now Mac. Rod of Atos up, Mystic Flare, he doesn't have mana for it. So I guess what could have been a kill is no longer a kill onto Mac. Unfortunate there for Hustler. We'll just TP out again on that DP. Natsumi's still got a while to go in the farm, still trying to get a butterfly up. Maybe even just go for the Satanic first.
Alacrity is going to run into these two on the top side. They're able to get away with the Luna, but might catch out Bensoy.
Aether Remnant doesn't lock him in. Ben still trying to make a run, has TP in 1 second, and yeah, he'll just commit it straight away. Nice little juke out.
That could be a big thing coming through for Adroit if they're able to pick it up. A repair kit for themselves. They've got one on Reality Rift, but they haven't been in danger of losing much more than their Tier 1 towers so far.
It's very true. It's not like they need it. Smoke up again from Ara. Rotate down to that Radiant side jungle where Adroit are quickly trying to farm as fast as they possibly can. Roshan's going to be up in 30 seconds, by the way.
Oh, they're going to potentially come in here onto Bensoy one more time.
Yeah, he just bought back as well. He doesn't want to die back like this, but they get the Ice Path off. The Aether Remnant, but a nice disruption out from Boomy. Gotta watch out for the Chrono in 15 seconds. However, they have caught out that Shadow Demon. Still, he won't die thanks to that Glimmer Cave. Alacrity. Another Aether Remnant not connecting, but they have got Bensoy in the Ice Path. Drew, he will jump in. There's the Eclipse from Natsumi, trying to go onto Alacrity, but he is juking it out. Now the Roar from KYXY. Mac tries to jump in. The Chrono's up again, but they will hold on. And Alacrity does die on the Void Spirit, and now the Void's being caught out. Drew, he needs to commit.
Nice.
He will get a 4-man Chrono. Is it going to be enough, though? That Exorcism, they'll take out the DP. Now onto the Luna. Natsumi dies as well. Drew will go straight onto the Shadow Demon Boomy. He also goes down, and now CML, another to fall. Only one left in Bensoy, but he does TP out in time.
The one that you were trying to protect the entire team fight because he doesn't have the buyback is the only one to get away. And that's the power, like we were talking about before, of having those multiple layers of initiation. Drew only needing to pop the Chrono until the very last second. After all of these ultimates, everything was expended already by Adroit. And, well, really good kiting being used there by Reality Rift as well. The Eclipse was popped, but BKB usage as well as fogging him up on the high ground, making sure that it did essentially nothing.
Well, the bot racks now going to be easily taken by RR. They've got a Roshan to go back to as well, and I believe it was scouted out by KYXY, but Bensoy might have a look in there. No, he'll just go for the bounties. And they are going to rush towards that Roshan pit. In fact, they want Bensoy first.
Oh no.
He'll blink out. Drew trying to cut him off will go the wrong way, but they know he is going somewhere north.
He's got that increased time walk cast range. They found him.
Now they did find him. Hoofstop is there, but the Roar, of course, is committed by KYXY, and that is going to be the dieback now coming out onto Bensoy. And now you can go for a very easy Roshan play.
I think they denied out all of the outpost experience as well. Everything going the Dire's way. And just in levels overall, you can just see the differential. A lot of red sitting up towards the top of that graph.
That is certainly true. Only Mac and Natsumi really keeping up there at those level 20 marks, but that's their team, just giving them all that farm priority. Well, now the Roshan, going to go the way of RR. Drew will take the Aegis for himself. He wants someone else to take the cheese. He's literally got no slots left and looks like it'll be nuts. But now you've got everything you need for high ground. He even gets a Paladin sword. Alright. Why not?
Alright, Gaben. Alright. Calm down.
It's a bit too much sometimes, isn't it?
They need to get this last neutral item on Adroits as well. If it is a repair kit, it's a pretty big deal.
Will it be, though?
You never know until you try and find out.
They are going to. Boomy. It's just Boomy. He's just trying to push out that top wave. Nobody else really in the jungle right now to be able to try for that last item. And Boomy's going to get an Aether Lens for himself. Always nice. BTS getting somewhat close to the Aghanim Scepter now on the Centaur. He's got the point booster at least. That might be a bit of a game changer later on if you get to that point. Thing is though, like Alacrity's got the Ags up as well. Kind of rough.
It is. It's more than rough. Just to be able to come back from behind as this Centaur, you can see he's sitting down in 7th position right now, behind even the Jakiro on the Reality Rift liner.
Natsumi gonna risk his life a little bit here, just farm the creep wave quickly. Gets his butterfly up. Does also have a Paladin sword on that Luna. So you've got some damage potential now from Natsumi, even without the Eclipse. He is hitting fairly hard. It's a matter of whether he can actually stand there and just keep hitting away.
Yeah. Using these illusions pretty well just to keep the lanes pushed out.
I have Skadi though. It's a big one.
That's deadly.
So Drew now.
Can they do this for 3 more minutes? That's the real question.
What's in 3 minutes? The Aegis expiring?
Yeah.
Alright. I suppose you could. Like, RR aren't making any big plays to try to get there now. Adroit, they've smoked up.
KYX would be a great target to find.
They might get him. They spot him out. Hoofstomp is there. He's not expecting this. Mac will pop the ulti as well, just in case. Just in case they came in for that fight. Aether Remnant, they did spot out Alacrity, but he does get away in time. Now Mac, a nice little regen rune for himself. I believe that would... Oh, actually a silence now onto Drew. Slowing him up. He does BKB and just get out of there. They won't chase
using his Manta-style illusions to push in the top tower, so didn't have it available, and well, expending a BKB charge is still a pretty decent deal right now.
And Nuts will also TP out in time in the tree line there on the Jakiro. So, I mean, you just asked the question, can they delay it out? I think they can. It's still a couple minutes left for Drew here with that Aegis, but it seems as though they may just be able to get that job done.
Getting closer to that level 35 as well. Is he going to go for the denial to the bounty? Does with Boomy.
Boomy's
and what did they get? They got the Titan Sliver from their last tier 3 item.
That's not too bad. It's just not a repair kit.
Mm-hmm.
Who's even using it?
No one.
Oh, okay. Oh,
they
bot
found
jungle.
out. Witch Doctor.
CML gonna be in trouble. He'll just die. The rest of his team just trying to run away. As Alacrity did move forward. He could be in trouble. He got purged up by Boomy. They're thinking about jumping in, but now a double ice path coming up from Nuts with the macro drop. That's going to force a stampede. KYXY. He thought about the Roar, but they have the Rod of Atos and the Yules. Mac will pop his BKB, turning back around. The buyback out from CML. Double silence as well. But here comes the Chrono, connecting onto 2, in fact, make that 3. Do they have the damage output with the Ice Path lockdown? Now the Roar, CML does die. Eclipse coming in, but there goes Mac. He'll buy back immediately. KYXY still fighting up against Bensoy. The Ice Path comes out. It may be time to leave, though. No. Drew also gets Boomy. Now back onto Bensoy, but he may have gone too far. He does lose the Aegis. But Ben is falling way lower. They Glimmer Cape him up.
Aegis only had 15 seconds. They're more than happy to make that sort of trade. And yeah, now they can back off using a bunch of buybacks as well on Adroit's side. It's looking really poor for him.
Definitely is. 23k net worth lead now for RR. They won't be able to quite feel confident enough to go for that high ground push yet. But they are slowly but surely getting there.
You don't want to be in that situation, but I feel like after you pop the Exorcism and your BKB on the Death Prophet, you could sense that they were all worried about this Void Chronosphere, and so they backed off. I think when you're as far behind as they are right now, you just need to go all out for it, because you're probably going to lose the game anyway if it keeps panning out the way that it is. Again, to go back to Dota Plus, 1% win probability, although they don't know that. I just don't think that you can be playing scared. You've got to play to try and pull yourself back into even a 10% chance rather than delay the inevitable.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Well, they're going to drag it out a bit more. Maybe just waiting for 1 or 2 core items. And
I mean, you can see that that's what the mentality is on Adroit. You know, Natsumi, he's got the Satanic queued up and then the Rapier, but I don't know if you have the time to go for that sort of greed.
it might be just time to just go straight Rapier. Satanic is nice and all, but maybe they assume they have time, obviously. MKB now up on Drew's, definitely going to help up against Natsumi's Luna with that butterfly up. You not just rush the Divine here, like, is there a point in the Satanic? Is it going to make the difference?
I think so. You're always just going to have it bouncing around in a team fight, and even if you only get a couple of hits off, you've got, kind of similar to the Gyrocopter, a passive heal that's going on.
Oh, that's fair. Hustler actually going to kill off Boomy. That was up at the top lane.
Yeah. Especially with that Paladin sword as well, right? It just amplifies anything that you want to be dishing out.
That is absolutely fair. So he'll get close enough now. He has almost enough gold for that Reaver. He is going to need to come back and defend very, very soon as RR is knocking on that door.
5 seconds left on his TP, so trying to get everything out of the map that he can. Doesn't want to pop the Manta style up here like you normally would just to keep it pushed out. He's going to have to come back.
Now he will.
Or maybe not. Maybe they're trying to wait for the Witch Doctor, realizing that they're never going to win a team fight with this sort of deficit and a 4v5 situation.
Could be the case. Drew, he'll take down the tier 3 tower. Now going for that mid-rax. Very, very cautiously. Not willing to risk too much. Just time walking back every couple seconds, making sure he is safe. Bensoy gets in there with the stun. CML, cast, not going to be thrown out. Just the Melodict. Jumping in with Alacrity. Mac falls low, but not low enough. And well, they don't quite finish the racks off. And well, Adroit, they successfully hold that high ground.
I don't mind that little play coming through from Alacrity. Maybe trying to bait out some BKBs so that they can then take the next initiation a little bit easier. Medium Roshan respawn time. It was about 1:20, so they'll be able to wait out around this bounty rune area. Again, secure up some farm for themselves. Man, it feels so bad to be Boomy right now. He's still sitting at level 14, and he's going to be caught out one more time.
Oh, no. He had the Glimmer Cape. Mac.
Oh, Mac's
he's
in.
going to jump in. Ben Soy tries to go for the hoof stomp. There's going to be a chrono. It has caught both supports out. They'll go after Boomy first. Boomy is down. Now CML going to be in trouble and should die. But they also found Nuts on the other side. Now the Eclipse. Ben Soy trying to fight back. Drew, he's got a triple. KYXY does get Natsumi as well on the Luna. And now Mac, he's been caught out. He should just be dead here. Completely surrounded, and he is gone. And is this the point where you just call the GG?
I think it's pretty damn close. Unfortunately for the Luna, didn't even get the BKB off in that team fight. I'm not sure what was preventing it, but it meant you can't just stand and fight, getting burst down from 100 to 0 without all too much impact.
They're not calling the GG. Tier 4s are under siege. Natsumi, he's the only one that can buy a pack. He does have his supports up in about maybe 15 seconds or so, but he gets jumped on. BKB comes out. They're just going to dive him. Maybe even the fountain? No. No risking. Still trying to buy time.
3v5 situation coming up shortly. Still throw out the casks as CML here.
Yeah, but Alacrity just keeps jumping in for that Resonant Pulse Silence. And yeah, this Ancient's gone. The GG's been called. Natsumi says it, and well, that's game 1 to RR. I can't say that's what we were expecting, but man, they performed really well this game. Adroit, you talked about their draft a little bit. You talked about how they weren't so familiar with these kind of heroes, and well, it kind of showed in game one.
Yeah, hopefully for them it was just an experiment, and they're able to rectify it going into game two, or have Reality Rift cracked the code. Just ban out every single pushing hero that you can that they're confident with, and you can slightly draw it out, go for these hero kills, and end up with the W.
We'll find out very, very soon if they can do it again in game number 2. It is MLP Dota, and it is, of course, Danog. Will be back very, very soon for that second game.